Okay, welcome everybody to our Excel tutorial. What you're going to learn in this tutorial is how to name a range in Excel and how to use index match appropriately in Excel. This tutorial is by Bernadette Ajami, Chelsea Balanceifer, J.T. Boyle, Hannah Craven, and Andrew Rimschneider. So first thing we're going to do is go to this salesperson tab down here. And we're going to name these ranges. So I already went through and named this range right here for you. So if you select that, you'll see up here it has it named. But this one's not named. So to select it, you can hit Shift, End, and Down, and it selects that whole range. That's a really good function to use, especially when you have really big data, like you'll see later in our Sales tab. But it is harder to use when you have big data if you have missing spots. So if that spot is missing right there and you hit Shift and Down, it only goes down to Jack right here, and you don't get the rest of the cells because this one's empty. So you can select this by hitting Shift and Down, or you can just go in and drag and select it. And you go up here to this box and you type in sales person, because that is the tab that we're working with down here. And then this is the salesperson name, so you type in name and hit enter. And that completes that page. When you go over here to product, I already have these first four here named for you. And we're going to go to cost of goods sold and hit Shift and Down just like that. And that one is going to be product cost of goods sold. Enter. We'll go into method and we'll name this one right here. And we're going to name this one method cost and hit enter. We'll go over here to sales. So this is our sales tab. This is where we're going to start using the index matches. I've already gone through and labeled this. So this is big data right here. There's actually over 2,000 entries on this data sheet. So we're going to use the Shift and Down function to name these ranges. So if you ever go ahead and hit Shift and Down and select that range, you'll see that one's already named for you. But over here on price, you want to actually put the data in with the index match before you do this, because if you hit Shift and Down on that one, it goes all the way down to 1,048,576. So you want to make sure that you're using that only when you have data in there. So the first thing we're going to do on this is learn how to do index match. So what you're going to do is go back to this sales sheet right here. And what we want to do is have the price come from the product tab to this tab right here for a specific product. So the best way to do that, you can use VLOOKUP, but the best way to do it is to use index match. So if you type in index, it wants you to select an array. So what that means is you want to know what you're getting here, so what you're wanting. And what we want is the product price. And you see we have it named down here and it's highlighted in blue. And then you hit tab and it brings that in. And then the next thing you do is you want to match that from another screen. So the lookup value that it's wanting, that is the number that you have, the cell that you're wanting to reference. So we're wanting to reference this one right here, which is the product name. So you put in D2 right there. You can either type it in or just click to select and comma, and this is the product name, and we already have that in here as well. So we hit tab, and then we want it to be an exact match. You can also do greater than or less than, but we want an exact match here. So we're going to put in 0 and close the parenthesis, and then we're going to close it again to close it for that whole function. So if you go right here in D, we actually want to continue to go down the D column as we move it over. So we're going to go ahead in here and put a $, which makes that D an absolute value. And then if you did it if you put a $sign here as well, that would make this cell an absolute value. We don't want to do that because then you would get the price for the baker's table all the time. And you see down here we have the conveyor oven and the tornado too. So we're going to go ahead and take that $sign out, but our function is complete, so we're going to go ahead and hit enter, and it brings in that price. So the baker's table, and that's the price of that one product. So if we go to the product table, we have the baker's table here, and the price of that product is $365, which is what we got on this sales tab. So that's good. So then to continue that all the way down, you can go to this little square you have here in the corner and give you that plus sign cursor, and then you double click it, and it drags that function all the way down, and it continues down the D column because we have that $sign in there. So then to do total sales is equal to the price of the product multiplied by the units, and then you hit enter. You always want to have an equal sign before a function, or you can actually put a plus sign in there as well and it works the same. Equals just makes more sense to me because you're equaling it to something. So you just go ahead and hit enter, and it brings in that total sales there, and then double click that with your plus sign cursor. Next thing we want to bring in is the cost of goods sold. So we're going to want to go ahead and copy this function we have right here, and we can go ahead and paste that over here. So this is a way to kind of get through it quicker. You can go through and type them all in, but we want to get through this kind of fast. So in this index match right here, we know we want to type in what we're looking for. So right here, we're not looking for product price, we're looking for product cost of goods sold. And you go ahead and tab that in there, and it brings it in. And then we are wanting to match that to the D2 cell we have right here, or the field we have right here. So that is this row. And then that is the product name, and we do want an exact match, so that is all we need right there. And we hit enter, and it brings in the cost of goods sold. So in the product, you can see that cost of goods sold is actually done as a percentage. So what we need to do in the sales tab to get the dollar amount of cost of goods sold is we need to take that dollar amount and multiply it by the total sales that we have, because that includes both the price and the units. And then you do want to continue to go down that G column, so we're going to make that G an absolute value there and hit enter. So then it brings us our cost of goods sold as $310. And then we double click with our plus sign cursor right there, and it drags it all the way down. So next we're going to do commission, so Control C to copy and Control V to paste, and it brings in that commission, but it brings in that cost of goods sold from there. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the commission. So we go ahead and tab that in and hit enter, and it brings in the commission. The commission is also done as a percentage. So if we take that away, we actually get this. It looks like 2 cents right there, but it's actually the percent commission we have over here. And that is this baker's table right here, so 0.015. But that's not what we're looking for. We want the dollars, so we're going to go ahead and multiply that again by that. We're going to go ahead and multiply that again by the total sales, and then continue to leave that G as an absolute value and hit enter. So then it brings in our commission we have right here, and you double click there. So then our net profit we have is equal to total sales minus the cost of making the product minus the commission cost we give to our salesman for selling it. And we hit enter, and that brings in $49 is our net profit on that sale. We double click and bring them down. So the salesperson right here, we're going to get an index match here as well. So that's equal to index. And then what we're looking for, which is that array. So we are looking for the salesperson name. So we're going to bring that in and then do a $sign, and then we want to match it with this salesperson ID we have right here. We're going to match it with salesperson ID, and then we want to tell them the lookup array, which is what it is. So that's salesperson ID, and we want an exact match with this one as well. So we close that, and then we close the parentheses for the function. Then we want to keep that B as an absolute value here as well, so that we go down the B column. And we hit enter, and it brings in David Putty. And we double click, and it brings it down, so it has, it's matching the salesperson ID here to give us the correct salesperson who did that sale. And then the last thing you need to do is go through and name these ranges. So you go to the top of price and you hit shift and down. And that is going to be sales price, because we are on the sales tab and price is the name of our column. And we're going to hit enter. And then total sales. And then we go to cost of goods sold. And that one's, and then sales commission is named, and then we need to make sure this one is named sales net profit, and then this one right here is salesperson name, and enter. So now that actually completes our tutorial. So now that we're done, you can just take a minute and appreciate the fact that you did this so fast, and it would have taken a long time to do it otherwise. But you also want to make sure that you're saving this as you go. So if you already have it saved like I do, you can hit the save button up here, or you can actually hit Control S and it will save it. Or you can go in here and save as and then rename it if you wanted to do that. But other than that, that completes our tutorial. Thank you for watching, and if you need any more help with any tutorial stuff, you can look up more tutorials on YouTube, you can check lynda.com, you can use any of those things to help you. Have a great day. Thank you.